All right, you guys, 2 days in a row. I know this is a podcast Faith and Fire miracle, and I welcome it. So I am excited. I told you guys I could use the prayers today because can I pull this off doing this show more than once a week? I want to do a quick Marine update. A lot of you guys know I've been talking about it for months that he was gonna leave, and then he did leave. He's still out there, and I'm telling you, I've gotten quite a few letters. He's loving it. Like everything I was worried about is was for nothing. And I think that goes with a lot of things in life is that we create this big story, it gets very scary, and then the truth is everything we were afraid of doesn't really happen. I told you guys I spent a lot of time in like the Marine parent groups, stalking pictures and stalking posts and just like totally immersed in that. I've since kind of backed out, even left a few groups. Um, because I feel terrible. Like their kids are writing and they're like, I hate this. I want to leave. This is not for me. Like the letters are terrible. And all of my letters are like, he's loving it. Even he calls it minor suffering. He said the worst part is just kind of waiting. But he did pass. He's passed every test so far. Swim week, he just passed that. He's going into grass week now. And really, like, he just reassures me that he's made for this. And then that sweet boy, listen, I'm sitting at the table yesterday reading a letter and I'm telling my husband like I think I should have him buy corsages. Like the Marines can buy corsages for people for the graduation. I'm like I think that I should have him buy corsages for his little sisters because they would love that. The three of them, you guys, were like the closest people I've ever seen in life. The three of them are just completely, absolutely all about each other. So anyway, that was my thought yesterday. I got a new letter from him today and he's like, "Mom, I bought you a corsage for graduation." And yeah, I teared up. I'm like, "What?" That sweetest boy. Um yeah, I am so excited to put my arms around him. I cannot wait. I think I have like 50 days left and he says time is going by so fast and what I know from like other Marines talking about their experience is that yeah, after week 4 it does go really fast. So I love that for him and he just keeps talking about how excited he is to be on the fleet, which also is like my biggest nightmare. But reading his letters, I mean, I know again from talking to other Marines what the fleet is like, and it makes boot camp look like a baby daycare. So, of course, my mama heart is scared and terrified. But just like being able to see God move through this boy, being able to see he was literally born for this, he is fully equipped, he has everything he needs, and what he doesn't have, he has God. Um, I'm not worried. It's a weird. I have such a weird comfort about him where I could just celebrate and be proud now. I don't have to scroll every single picture. And you guys, I was scrolling like hundreds of pictures a day to try to catch a glimpse of him. I don't need to see him because there's not a picture in the world that can explain what his words have been telling me. So it is just, I know I'm blessed beyond measure. I do pray and feel bad for the moms whose sons are full of regret and not wanting to be there because I don't know what I would do with that. I think this has made it so much easier that he's excited. So that's my Marine update. It is grass week for them. So the closer he gets to be able to shoot guns, I think the more fun he's going to have. But my cousin went through the same thing. Like he was the machine gunner, he was in the infantry, and that's what my son is doing. He's like, he will get tired of it so fast. Like you shoot so many guns that it's not fun anymore. So, uh, I guess he's gonna love it till he doesn't, right? Like that's kind of what it's gonna be. But yeah, he loves his drill instructors, which I love that. He's so excited for me to meet them. I get to have a dinner with them on the Thursday before graduation, so I get to hear about all the things, and he's just very excited for me to meet them. He was like, I have so much to tell you, I can't even put it in letters. So, I think it's going to be so great having him home for those couple of days before he goes to school, infantry school for another 14 weeks. But my gosh, you guys, it is definitely an experience for a parent. But I pray for his journey. I pray for his heart, and God bless his service to this country. I think it's a beautiful move, and I was just saying on a TikTok this morning on a live that I don't. I just felt like it made me more patriotic, right? Like, I couldn't imagine how it feels for him. He's talking about how emotional it was to step on the yellow boots, and he gets to go through the museum this week of the history of the Marines, and it's just how proud I am. And I know Marines can't brag, but this mama will be bragging forever. Forever. All right, so for today's show, her name is Bella Everitt. She is 13 years old. She was shot 4 times. Her mother, Amanda, was dead. Her 16-year-old brother, Eric, was dead. Multiple people around her were dead or dying from a shooting that crossed 3 locations in Missaukee County, Michigan. Bella, sweet girl, crawled to her phone and called 911 and gave authorities the name of the man who did it. She was 13 years old, 4 gunshot wounds, and she made the call. Yeah, that's how we start today's show. You guys, if you're new here, I am Brandon Lynette, Faith, Fire, God and Country. Today is Tuesday, and this episode is brought to you by Super Patch. And I'm going to say the Peace Patch specifically. I do not record any of my podcasts without this patch. And what I walk you through, especially if we're going to do this every day, it can be heavy, and your nervous system needs to be able to hold it without shutting down. And peace gives me that calm and clarity. Peace will give you that calm and clarity. You could stay present and sharp without your body going into a spiral and staying there. I will say, between God and these patches, that's how I can hold the space to be able to talk about this stuff and not literally lose my mind on the side of crazy. It's like braille for your brain. It's a contoured ridge pattern on the patch, and our body is constantly responding to stimulus, right? Like whether it's sight, sound, touch, whatever that is. So these patterns are just braille for the brain. It triggers a neural response. BrandonLynette.superpatch.com. That's how you can find it. You guys, the show is growing, and I imagine now that I'm showing up a little more, and if we could keep this consistent, God, please help me. Um, I'm looking for brand partners to sponsor the show. If you want to reach an audience that is awake and paying attention and takes action, I have my contact information in the bio. Um, and yeah, let's go through some cases for today. And this is the thing. Everything I'm going to read, isolated incidents can be explained away, but patterns can't. And there are so many patterns in everything I've seen around me. So many patterns. In Michigan, a 51-year-old man from Hazel Park was arrested and charged with 6 counts of aggravated child sexually abusive activity after a Michigan State Police investigation. That happened yesterday morning. 6 counts, one man. In Illinois, we have Jeremy Batterman. He's 52 of Campton Township. He was charged Monday with 44 counts of producing child sexual abuse material. This is the piece that could probably be a full episode on its own. Authorities allege artificial intelligence was used to create the material. So AI is now being weaponized to produce images of children being abused. The technology the entire industry is celebrating is the future of human progress, and the law hasn't caught up to it yet. The predators already have. In Florida, we've got Robert Lee Ingram. He's 22. Gracie Jai Tellis, 20. They are charged with aggravated manslaughter and child neglect. Their 7-week-old daughter suffered fatal blunt head trauma consistent with violent shaking. 7 weeks old. Absolutely ruled a homicide. Both are held without bond. Yeah, why are they breathing? We have a mother accused of putting her infant son into scalding hot water. 2nd-degree burns to his buttocks and genitals on a baby. St. Louis, this police pulled a 6-month-old boy out of a vehicle with the windows up and no air conditioning while it was over 90 degrees outside. The baby survived, and thankfully the parents were arrested. James Michael Nana was wanted in Texas for allegations involving sexual abuse of a child under 14. He fled the state. He came back. He fled again, used multiple aliases. They finally caught him in Louisiana. We have Shane Ryan Gledhill, an actor and filmmaker, faces 24 felony counts. Authorities say he used online casting calls and film projects to contact underage victims. He dangled the promise of a career in front of young people who wanted to be seen, and then he used them to that access to destroy them, essentially. The same thing Hollywood's been getting away with for decades. So yeah, we caught the one guy. When do we get the big fish? In California, Pastor Lena Hernandez was Leno arrested on 4 counts connected with a child sexual assault investigation. All of this stuff happening in different states, different races, black, white, Mexican, different titles, security guards, police officers, pastors, filmmakers, parents, neighbors. The common thread is not the profession or the background. The common thread is access to children and the decision to use that access to harm them. This isn't even a crime story. This is a spiritual war, and the primary target has always been the children. And really, I just feel like at this point, it's the soft Christians I need to talk to, because I've been sitting with this, and even in my comments today, I really try not to look at the comments. I looked at a few comments. I've got Christians talking about the hate that I put out. And it's wild to me, for one, that, you know, they're very adamant about sharing their opinion, and I don't answer. I'll answer to the people, truthfully. I answer to God, and that's who I have to stand in front of and say, did I tell the truth with love? And you can do that. You can tell the truth with love. It's not hate. If you read my text and take it as hate, that's a you problem, not a me problem. But my soft Christians, there are people listening to this right now who know the truth. You see what I see. You look at these headlines and you feel what I feel, and then you're silent about it. You're out here sharing your funny videos and food recipes, and you like the posts that don't cost you anything. And then things like this are happening all around us, all around us. You guys, if I told you everything that was happening, I would never get off the microphone. I would be talking constantly about what's happening to our babies. And I'm not coming for people. I'm coming for the reflex. It's a learned reflex that says stay quiet and you'll stay safe and nobody will come for you and your life will be more comfortable. People have been coming for me for over a year. And I'm still okay. I am still okay. So it's not going to kill you. I understand the reflex. I've paid the price for not having the reflex. Death threats, people coming for my kids, inbox full of people who would love to see me fail. And I can't stop. And this, I'm not brave. I'll make that very clear. It's because I genuinely believe that my silence costs someone else something. And that when I have to face the truth at the end of my life, I can say I did tell the truth. I didn't just look at the stuff and turn my eyes and pretend it wasn't happening. There's a mom who needs to know what's happening in the school system before she sends her kids there when it starts this week or next week. There's a person who's been sitting on the edge of giving their life to Christ, and the only thing they've been waiting for is someone who sounds real, someone who's in the arena getting their ass kicked, someone who did not deserve a calling from God, who was given one anyway. I don't deserve any of this. I don't deserve the voice. I don't deserve any of this. And he still called me. Because he knew my heart, and he knew when he lit the fire, I'd never be able to put it out. And so I say the things out loud at the full price. And I'm not going to be here pretending it isn't hard. That might be you. Not the microphone, you, the person listening right now. I'm not saying you have to start a podcast. Brandon, that's what you do. You podcast, you talk, great. You don't have to go viral. You don't have to have hundreds and thousands of comments and shares and likes on your posts. You don't have to be me. You just have to open your mouth in the room you're already in. It's simple. Share the episode, send the text, leave the comment on the post, say out loud at your family dinner what you actually believe instead of making small talk about the weather because you don't want an argument. The devil is counting on your silence. He's been counting on it, and he's winning with it. Soft Christianity is not kindness. It's not acceptance. It's not love. You're a coward. And you're dressing it up like it's just you not wanting to offend people. And what it produces is a church that has abdicated its responsibility to the culture while the culture is going off a cliff. The children in today's headlines needed adults around them who had a framework for what is right and what is wrong and the courage to enforce it. We have spent 30 years producing a generation of adults who were told that enforcing any standard is hate. It's backfiring. The cost of silence. That's the cost of silence, and these children are a part of it. Speak up however you can with whatever reach you have. Ephesians 6 says, we do not wrestle against flesh and blood. The battle is not political. It is spiritual, and you do not show up to a spiritual battle and stay quiet. Who would I be if I didn't talk about Chicago, kids? 25 people shot over the weekend. 6 of them murdered on Sunday alone. One woman shot and killed near Harrison Street and Independence Boulevard Sunday afternoon. Her name has not been reported. It's not viral. There's nobody showing up. I want to make an argument here. The Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation is a nonprofit. Its tax filings are public record. In years, with record fundraising following high-profile police-involved deaths, their spending on neighborhood violence prevention programs on the actual communities where Black people are being shot and killed by other Black people every weekend. You want to know how much they spent? Zero. Millions of dollars raised, executives paid, big fancy houses bought. What did the South Side of Chicago get? Nothing. And the liberal white woman is feeding into this? I'm the racist. But the people that really need it don't get the help. And Black Lives Matter only shows up when they can make a buck. That means a white guy has to be involved, right? 25 shot in one weekend. 6 dead on just Sunday. I didn't even get the count for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or yesterday. Not sent $1 to help people, the people it claims to represent. You guys follow the money. Follow the money. Always follow the money, because the money tells you who actually matters to the people spending it. Chicago's weekend death toll tells you that people in those neighborhoods don't matter to the organization that named itself after them. You'll see through it. I'm not attacking Black people. They have a culture problem. But Black Lives Matter is an attack on the grift. And the people being most harmed by that grift are the Black families in Chicago who keep watching their neighborhoods die while the machine collects donations off of different headlines in different cities. Supreme Court here, they did decline to hear Trump's appeal of the Carroll $5 million civil judgment for the second time. That verdict is going to hold, and we all know the truth about that. It's fine. It's fine. Everything works out. The truth does always come out. Jean Carroll has lost her ever-loving mind, and she sold out to push this through. And what could we do? What could we do? A new Reuters poll puts Trump's approval at 33%. I don't want to ignore this. I think ignoring unfavorable numbers is how you end up surprised by stuff you should have seen coming. And obviously the primary driver is the Iran conflict and its economic impact on American families. If the argument is that the president should be accountable, then accountability means looking at the numbers even when they're uncomfortable. And I think that's fair. But also, I think it's wild behavior that we are cleaning up a mess that a previous administration kind of created. And death to America is real. It's real. And they shouldn't have the nukes. And we're here now, and thinking that our president should just like wake up and wave a magic wand and have everything fixed overnight after how many years of broken policies? I wish it worked like that. It's like they said, okay, you're elected president, but we're tying both hands behind your back and you can only see out of one eye. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I want to talk to you about Hannah. This is in 1 Samuel. Hannah was married to a man who loved her. She had no children, and every year when her family went to the temple at Shiloh to worship, her husband's other wife would taunt her, would say cruel things, would rub it in, and Hannah would weep and refuse to eat. One year she went into the temple to pray, and she was in such anguish that she was weeping and her lips were moving, but no sound is coming out. She was pouring everything she had into this prayer, silent, desperate. It was real. And Eli the priest saw her and said, "How long are you going to keep acting like this? Put away your wine." He thought she was drunk. And Hannah answered him. She said, "I'm not drunk. I'm a woman who is deeply troubled. I have not been drinking. I was pouring out my soul to the Lord. Do not take your servant for a wicked woman. I have been praying out of my great anguish and grief." And Eli said, "Go in peace. May the God of Israel grant you what you have asked of him." She went home. She ate. Her face was no longer downcast, and she conceived and gave birth to Samuel. Samuel would grow up to be the prophet who anointed the first kings of Israel, who would change the entire direction of the nation. But here's what I want you to just kind of sit with here. Eli told her to stop. The religious authority, the man whose entire job was to oversee the worship of God, looked at a woman in the most desperate prayer of her life and told her she's doing it wrong. Told her she should be quiet. Told her she looked like a drunk. And she didn't stop. She didn't apologize and walk away. She looked at the priest and she explained herself and she told him what she was actually doing, and she kept standing there. That is the posture. When the establishment tells you to be quiet, when the media wants to shut you up, when the people in positions of authority say you're being too emotional, too aggressive, too much, making things too political, you stand there and you say, "I am not drunk. I am pouring into my soul." And Hannah got her answer. She wasn't deserving. She wasn't perfect. She just refused to leave without it. The soft Christian sitting on the sidelines waiting for someone else to go first is waiting for permission that's never going to come from the people whose conflict depends on the silence to continue. The only permission you need is the one that comes from the God who told Hannah to go in peace, whose son is already in you if you belong to him. Stand there, say what you know is true, pour out your soul. Hannah's son changed the nation. You do not know what your voice can and will do. And genuinely, if you've been watching the world and you feel the weight of it without anything underneath you to hold that weight, I need you to know that there is something underneath it. There is a foundation. There is someone. Jesus Christ is not a cultural symbol or a political identifier or a bumper sticker or a background decoration for a lifestyle that looks good from the outside. He is a living person who walked into the most broken circumstances of the ancient world and did not look away from it, who wept at a tomb, who touched the untouchable, who looked at the broken and the abandoned and the failed and the desperate, and he said, "Come." He's the Jesus who chooses imperfect people. And if you're like me and there's a point in your life where you feel like you're not worthy of that, I still question that. You are worthy. I don't think we'll ever be deserving. We are sinners forever. Forever. But he is looking at you with the same eyes right now. And I don't know what you've done or what's been done to you. I don't know how far you feel from anything that looks like faith. I know that Bella Everitt was shot 4 times and still made a phone call. And I know that sometimes the most important thing a person can do is just make the call. Just say the words. Just come. If you have never given your life to Christ, this is the moment. Just now, like right now, as you are, with all of the questions still open and all of the world still broken and the devil working overtime. All the heavy things that you can hear that are still sitting on your chest, he is waiting for you. And he's not waiting for you to figure it out first. He's the one who helps you figure it out. And he's closer than you think. Come to him. Talk about Bella Everitt and give all the future Bellas the courage to speak up against the people who attack them. Talk about what this 13-year-old did. Share the episode with a person who needs to hear it. Just one person. And if you've been staying quiet about something you know is true, today's the day you say it in whatever room you're already in. You don't have to wait for a microphone. God, faith, fire, country. I love you guys. And I can't believe I'm saying this again, but I will see you tomorrow.